Hey, what's up, everybody? The V Club here, otherwise known as the Villain Club. It's about anything and everything, nothing's off the table, and this is what it's all about here. Alright, anything and everything. Just kind of sharing with you my opinions on the things I'm seeing out there and giving you my take on things in a more common sense sort of way, like not none of this woke bullshit. Just kind of your everyday working kind of guy, that I work, make income, pay my taxes, I do all my shit, right? And then you see all this bullshit all the time that we're just getting ravaged from our money for all the bullshit things that are going on and sensationalism that we see and all this crap that we see out there, and a lot of it is like, well, we can't even do anything about it. Anyhow, I wanted to talk about something that's been talked about the last couple of days here in the media, um, and it's about this whole Daniel Penny thing, right? So I talked about it last couple of days. He got acquitted, in terms of charges being brought upon him because they were trying to lock him up, throw the keys away, primarily from Alvin Bragg, the DA there in New York, for something that, I mean, you would think that you'd be rewarded for being a above and beyond citizen and helping others, right? You always said, hey, if you could help somebody in that sort of sense, that it should be good. But in this case, if you guys don't know the story, Daniel Penny was riding the subway, Marine, just riding the subway, going to the gym. You have this crazy dude, Jordan Neely, acting up, high, acting up, talking about he's gonna, he doesn't care what he's gonna do, if it's gonna get him locked away again. All threats. He was throwing out some serious, serious threats, right? And endangering people, and everybody's trapped on the train. And, if you ever been on a train, you're riding the train. You can't just tell the train to stop and let me just jump off. No, you're stuck until the next stop, right? And sometimes there are bouts during the train ride where the next stop is not for a while. So if you're traveling, say like in a tunnel, and it's going from one end to another, like say like for example, if you're in San Francisco and if you're in Oakland, right, and you're riding the train to San Francisco, there's a tube called the Transbay Tube that crosses the bay. That section alone is a good solid 20 minutes, right? From one, just sitting there, you're stuck riding in the boxcar through a tunnel, right? Good 20 minutes. So, if you're stuck with some lunatic, right, and you're stuck in a car, like I said, with a lunatic, and you're like, you can't do nothing, you're stuck, right? You're just hoping that the guy doesn't try to get on you, hit you, or whatever, for some crap, right? I'm gonna see if I can find some example videos of some stuff, like clips, real quick, on craziness on a train, right? Crazy people on train rides, right? Weird, crazy people on the subway, right? Let's see if there's any videos on that, and you'll just see some crap. It's like, man, the people that you got to deal with when you're riding trains sometimes, right? So let me see if I can find something here. Um, just a quick clip. That way you can just kind of get an example uh, of something. Crazy subway videos. All right, so here's New York example. This is a 2018, so this is stuff that's been going on for a very long time, right? Uh, uh, yeah. So let's just take a look at this real quick,
Nickel.
and you'll see what I'm talking about. What is going on here? crazy people. He broke his beer. He's gonna lose those beers. What kind of shit is this? Alright. Let me get out of this. This is some crazy crap. Crazy people on trains. How about that? Disturbing video captures NYC subway passengers in the ball. So you gotta deal with shit like this, right? Bizarre 2 a.m. NYC subway. Look, you gotta deal with people like this on the train. Alright? I mean, this is stuff. Beware of psychos. Look at this. Like, what is this? Look at this guy. You gotta worry about. So you gotta worry about people like this, right? All on the train. Let me pull this up. Look at this. He has literally a weapon on him. Carrying a stick like a sword. I mean, this guy can just literally stab you in the face. Like he just almost did right there. Like you don't know. This is so unpredictable. You don't know what's gonna happen. You don't know if he's gonna hit you. I mean, what is this crap, right? So you know you got to deal with this crap. You know, people like him. Another New York subway. Like, look, what is this? Look at this guy. Then you got to worry about people attacking on the train. I mean, this is crazy. All right, so homeless man takes a shower on NYC train. Now, what is this crap? See, you gotta deal with lunatics, all right, on trains, and so this whole Jordan Neely, Daniel Penny thing that happened, right? Dude was acting crazy, threatening, about to kill, possibly kill people. We don't know, right? Were you gonna wait for him to kill somebody to react? And people were scared. So Daniel Penny stepped in and put him in a restraint. The restraint didn't kill him because he was still alive when he unrestrained him, right? And then he, died while in cardiac arrest when you had, emergency personnel come in to tend to Jordan Neely, right? And so they blame Daniel Penny for killing him, right? And I'm sorry, when I say they, I'm talking about Black Lives Matters because they don't agree with what happened, right? Let me see if I can find that. Where's some Black Lives Matters stuff here? Is it here? Let me see here. It's like right when I have stuff, all this stuff just
He's been the only
disappears. Like, what is
Democrat
this?
that's willing
Now it just
to
disappears.
work with.
I didn't even click on anything. You know what I'm saying? And then this stuff just disappears. But yeah. And so, Black Lives Matter steps up, and they're just like, here we go, here's BLM. Talking about, oh, he should have been, why are you calling him a hero, I mean, he didn't even technically choke him to death. He was still alive, all right? It's not like he held him till he died, and then they said, all right, you can let go of him now. No, they held him until help came, and then that's what happened. And when you listen to interviews, witnesses, all that stuff, they all sided with Daniel Penny. But because the New York DA is woke, he's basically biased, right? Racist, biased. He was trying to throw the book at him for simply trying to save lives, right? And even as far as by last Friday, they even threw out the major charge, saying that because the jury was deadlocked. They said, well, we can't convict him because we just don't see how you're going to throw the major charge on him. So they said, all right, we'll remove that charge, and we'll have the secondary charge put up there to make it easier to convict him, is what they were trying to do, as in the DA was trying to do, because they're just trying to make sure he gets convicted. That's the whole thing. But the jury was deadlocked anyways come Monday, and they found him not guilty. So BLM got pissed, and BLM, you know, decides to say, hey, if you want vigilante justice, then we should be vigilantes too, and stuff, and threatening violence, right? And so this sort of thing, we didn't get justice, all this crap, right? It is something that is wrong, right? BLM is washed up. Um, their cause hasn't really truly helped anybody, because they keep saying Black Lives Matters and all that, but then you come to find out they were just a money funneling operation that was corrupt and just took the money for themselves and didn't really enrich people's lives. And they only want to pop up when they want to martyr somebody, when they want to memorialize somebody for something that they never really cared about in the first place. Like, where were they before Jordan Neely boarded that train, when he got arrested 44 times prior to this, right? And has mental health issues, right? And when you start digging into the history of Jordan Neely, he came from a broken home, right? Broken home, living with his mom. The dad left when he was a kid, right? And stepdad came in the picture, step person, I guess, because I don't know if she got remarried or not. Ends up being an abuser, abused Jordan Neely, right? And not only that, abused the wife, which is his mom, and ended up killing his mom. So he got bounced around foster homes after that. He lived a bad life. And then all of a sudden, you have the dad that pops in the picture, who hasn't been in his life in years, because that's what BLM does, right? BLM likes to victimize everything and try to sway things to their way, and they really don't do anything except just try to make things racist than what it looks like, than what it is, when it's not really the case, right? And that's the whole thing about it, is the jury decided about what happened based on what really happened. They didn't look at it as in a race perspective. And that was the whole thing about this whole thing, which angers me, because it's like you're being blamed for something good that happened. And when I say good, I'm just saying good as in, well, Daniel Penny saved lives. And it's not like he went ahead and said intentionally killed Jordan Neely, because he didn't. So, but that's what these people are, calling for. It sounded like they're calling for violence, which they always do oftentimes. Especially her. She was talking about, do we got to break windows? Do we got to do this? Do we got to do that? And it's like, really? I mean, why does it always have to be about damage and destruction for attention, right? And things like that. And we've already done this experiment with soft on crime, be softer on people, and it's not working. And this is all in reaction to the BLM protest, the overreaction to George Floyd, right? In Minnesota, from the time that he got killed, right? Or when he died. I don't think he got killed. He died, right? And it was indirectly to a hold. And there, you can always argue semantics and things like that. He got kind of the same thing, right? It's because he was high on drugs, probably got, overly, what do you call that? When you are just tired and you need air and all that, because you're just so I mean, when you're on drugs and your adrenaline's beating and all that, your heart is pumping like crazy, right? But, on top of that, from all the things that were going on, escalating your heart rate, your blood pressure, and all that. And then, that's what happened with George Floyd, right? But they try to make him like he was a martyr when he was just a bad person, right? Bad history. And it's not like people go out every day and say, like, well, I'm going to kill this guy today. No. It's because it's your action that results in a reaction. And then sometimes the reaction, it may hurt people, it may kill people, and that's just what happens. All right. So this was a very good clip, by the way, where here's a Cartier family, but on top of that, Jennings there on CNN was really tearing down the whole thing with common sense, right? When it comes to Scott Jennings there and what he has to say about what is truly the case. Whereas again, due to the right, it's always about races. Everything's about races, racism, right? At least the Cartier family knows the difference and knows better. And again, the dad wasn't even in the picture for years, and then all of a sudden, he wants to be in the picture now. It's like, really? It's like, where were you when Jordan Neely was going through all this, right? When technically Jordan Neely should be in a hospital. And there's even prisons, believe it or not, that can cater to mental health. And this guy truly should have been locked up anyways because of his record and because of his mental health. And they could actually treat towards your mental health while you're locked up in confinement. I mean, that they have those prisons for that. And that's what the problem is when it comes to that aspect of people, and it comes to drugs and mental health and all that. They need to be treated for it, and the place to do it is, believe it or not, in prison. They do have places of healthcare facilities to help treat addiction and all that stuff too while you're locked up. Plus the crimes that was committed while, you know, in that mode of being high and all that. I mean, yeah, you should be locked up. But anyhow, that's not the point of it. The point of it is, let's take a look at this here, all right? First to the Cartier family here. Because, like, BLM's trying to...
I just feel like that tells us everything. If we do not want violence on our subways, and the point of our justice system is a level of accountability to prevent a person who does not have remorse about taking another person.
Which Daniel Penny had remorse. Alright? He had remorse. Because it sounds like a lot of people don't get the full story or don't know what really happened. But Daniel Penny had remorse. Because if you ask the witnesses can tell you the remorse that he showed about what was going on. That he did what he did, but he didn't want to take it that extreme. Asking if he's okay and all that, asking if everybody else was okay, right?
Person's life. I mean, even people who have engaged in manslaughter or have taken a life accidentally express remorse. And so the fact that a person has may express no remorse indicates that there's a risk that it...
The thing about Democrat females is that they're such bullshitters. They're bitches, but they're bangable, man. I would bang her, but that's about it.
May happen again. And if we do not want to unleash that level of violence, then we should exert a level of accountability to prevent that from happening again.
Later in the night, we're also going to talk about...
there was another situation similar to this Daniel Penny story. And it happened in New York also, but this time it was a black male that killed a crazy on the train, and he got let go. Let me see here. His name was Jordan also. Let's see. Kill the crazy guy. I'm just gonna put crazy guy. That's Daniel Penny. There was another one. Not Jordan Neely. There was another guy, or maybe his name is. Man, what's the guy's name? He just dominates the headlines, but his name is not. Um, Maybe I just put black NYC guy, black guy, kill the crazy guy. 'Cause there was another guy too. Very similar circumstances. Pulled out a knife and kills the guy, right? And he got let go. All right, so isn't that weird how that is? All right, here, let me just pull up this guy. His name is Nate the Lawyer. All right, on YouTube. Very good YouTuber. Very good lawyer too, by the way. He did a video about it, covering this, and let me show you that. Yeah, this guy here. His charges were dropped. Similar story. Okay. And how is that so? If it's a similar situation, but he got let go.
20-year-old Jordan Williams from St. Albans, Queens, is now over. Williams was arrested.
He got arrested originally because he pulled a because guy was crazy, punched his girlfriend in the face. He reacted by, well, this guy was threatening. He pulls out a knife and stabs the guy, all right? Kills him and says that it was in self-defense. He was let go. Whereas they're trying to throw the book at Daniel Penny. All right? So that's courtesy of Nate the Lawyer here. Very good guy. All right? And then going back to this. So I don't get it, you know.
Penny and the verdict there. Mm-hmm. There you also have a victim who somebody determined did not deserve to continue living, right?
No.
Yeah, tell me which vigilante action is okay.
One is being proactive, right? So this kid who executed someone, executed a guy walking away from him, shot him in the back, shot him in the for no.
They're referring to the Luigi guy that killed the United Healthcare CEO, where he pulled up right behind the CEO's, right behind him, and shot him in the back of the head, like execution style.
No reason whatsoever. Daniel Penny is a hero. You can say anything you want. Talk to people who ride the subway every day. Because I do all the time.
So let me
I can't find anyone who rides the subway who's unhappy about this verdict.
That Daniel Penny should get the Congressional Gold Medal to recognize his heroism. I'm not asking you about anyone else.
I think he ought to get medal. I think they ought to build a statue to this guy in New York City.
And I'm going to say it. I'm going to say the dreaded R word. Race plays a role in this. Right? And so
no, it doesn't.
Yes,
race does not play a role.
Wasn't there a similar case in New York City at the same time this thing was going on?
That when people kill people who are white, they tend to get harsher sentences, especially if they're people of color.
What about the Jordan Williams case?
That is what happens in our criminal justice system. No, I'm not going to stop because race absolutely plays a role in this.
I said, what about the Jordan Williams case here in New York? Same situation, African American. Gets on a subway, ends up killing a guy. Grand jury tosses it out at the exact same time as the Penny case.
What about Bernard Getz?
Oh, so they moved the goalpost. They moved the goalpost. Scott is speaking facts. I would like to say something about what AOC said. She talking about the justice system and accountability. This guy was arrested 42 times and released onto the streets. They put this guy in one of them homeless people houses to get rehabilitation, and he left, and they issued a warrant. So not only did he have 2 cases stemming from assaulting old people on the train, he was out and had a warrant for his arrest and was threatening to kill people.
Oh, you know what? And guess what else? The dude had a history of, besides drugs and all, he had a history of kidnapping a 7-year-old, punched her grandma in the face. Jordan Neely was trouble. All right, so not knowing that, his actions on the train that day caused a reaction of people, well, we got to do something or else this guy might actually hurt us. Right?
What else he got arrested for? Kidnapping a 7-year-old.
Little black kid.
2 years before that.
Black kid. Yes.
assaulted a man in the face, punched him in the face, punched a woman in the head, broke bones in her face.
Yeah. Daniel Penny
everything I'm saying.
Stood on business.
Also,
I don't give a damn.
You want to know another thing?
I don't. That man, that homeless man, I'm sorry that he died. Yes, I am. But, hey.
He did two other points I'd like to.
That's what I'm gonna say.
If you search Jordan Neely on X, there's like multiple videos of him crashing out on people, like threatening.
Oh yeah, I've seen some on X.
Then I saw somebody post a video of where Penny had him restrained. People was also restraining his arms and stuff.
Yeah, bro.
Then
even a black guy was helping Daniel Penny. It wasn't like white people helped him restrain this black guy. There was a black guy that helped Daniel Penny restrain Jordan Neely.
There was another video of when paramedics arrived. He still had a pulse.
Yes.
But they refused to give him mouth-to-mouth CPR, citing AIDS and other diseases as a concern.
Also, they thought he could be on drugs. So
they said he was extremely dirty.
Yeah. So he was a known junkie.
I mean, when it comes to that, though, when it comes to that sort of thing, like CPR and stuff, I mean, in the profession I'm in, we learned that you don't have to do mouth to mouth. You could just do straight up chest compressions, pump the chest, pump the chest, pump the chest, without necessarily doing mouth to mouth. So I don't know if they performed that or not. I didn't watch the video, but you could still go by and do that.
Okay. 42 arrests.
But I mean, I don't know if he's a junkie. They just cited it because they said he's dirty.
He was a known junkie. He went viral multiple times on multiple occasions.
He was just tweaking. It's just to me like everybody is.
Put your mouth on his mouth.
No.
Everybody's up in arms like we just lost like a straight A student or something. Everybody act like we just.
Oh, that's just how it is, right? Same with George Floyd. Oh yeah, he's a model citizen and all that. When he had a history of like stealing, strong arm robbery. I mean, there was a time George Floyd actually robbed a house, and it was a pregnant woman at gunpoint with the gun on her belly while robbing the house. Now tell me something about that. Isn't that crazy? George Floyd did that, but you won't hear that.
Just lost like a law-abiding citizen. This guy was constantly a threat to himself and others around him. You don't get to make threats of violence, saying you're gonna kill somebody and not expect them to retaliate. Bro, you don't get to do that.
This guy, his argument moved the goalposts. This has nothing to do. What he basically said had nothing to do with the case. He basically said something in the past happened to a black man. And,
can we talk about
so
right
how
now?
Does this not have to do nothing with race?
I ain't gonna lie. They said there was black women on the train.
Bro,
so
they tested the people testified.
Any black person on the train say, "Stop hurting that black bitch"? Hell no, they say get that nigga because he's a threat.
There's a black man holding them down.
Even these black guys know that it's not racism.
They're feeling threatened.
Right.
Yeah,
and
it's these woke, stupid ass woke people that would say that.
Bro, she's stupid.
I
told y'all.
Well, she was on that train. What would she have wanted him to do?
AOC is the dumbest person in Congress.
I told y'all.
Does she got bangable? I bang her.
Of course.
Yeah.
She's a congresswoman.
Well,
Nancy's famous.
But it's crazy. Like she said, everything is all safe and y'all could do whatever and everybody should live free and you got security.
But there are 3 million people who ride that subway per day.
Guys.
How many?
3 million.
Damn. I don't know.
I don't ride the subway. Our version of the subway in California, in the Bay Area, is the BART train system. And the BART system is terrible. It sucks. All right? It's loud. It's old. It sucks. And stinks. It's terrible. I stopped riding that thing a long time ago. I rode it for a couple years. And after that, I was like, screw that. I'd rather just drive. Back when I used to drive into San Francisco all the time, I say screw the trains. I'd rather drive and get stuck in traffic than to ride the trains.
We was on the subway. Everybody was minding their business, quiet. So I can only imagine what it's like when people get on and get to tweaking.
Yeah. Race got something to do with it.
I'm just
but the other way.
It's just really irritated to me that everybody's up in arms like this guy just went out to just kill a black person. That's not what happened there at all.
No.
Like they're acting like we lost a law.
That's how BLM treats everything.
Oh, the justice system failed him. What?
Yeah, the BLM does that all the time, all right, where they act like the justice system is against everything black just because it doesn't go their way, and then they try to pander, titillate, they try to justify why they're doing what they're doing and try to escalate things when it shouldn't be. BLM and anybody that tries to act like the system is broken is not broken. It's just not going their way, and they're crying about it, is what it is. And that's what angers me, especially when the dad pops out of nowhere who hasn't been around for years and acts like he cares now. That's the kind of shit that angers me. But I just wanted to bring this point of view.
What? His parents failed him.
Yeah.
You don't need to be a social scientist to know that there is zero evidence of any racial motivation for what Daniel Penny did.
Exactly.
So people who are trying to infer it, that somehow, as the founder of BLM in New York says, if you think he's innocent, you're a racist.
Cool.
And the KKK just got another victory.
Cool.
I'm not a social scientist, but I know that's horseshit.
Got him.
Right. Again, the statement from the BLM person in New York, I don't share, I don't echo, I don't agree with. You're asking me to defend a statement that I don't agree with. The statement that I am making, that you and I should be engaging, is the issue of implicit bias and the issue of use of force. There is
what bias?
There is. I said implicit bias.
Okay, just let's extrapolate that. You think if Jordan Neely had been white and came on that subway, right, and was acting like a deranged lunatic, as he was, but if he'd been white, do you think that Daniel Penny wouldn't have intervened? Because that's what you're implying.
That's not what I'm implying.
That's what he's implying. Man, he's such a bullshitter. He is implying that. I mean, come on. Like, really? Like, if...
What I'm saying
bias
is...
then? Where's the bias?
Yeah, where's the bias?
Okay.
Where's the
implicit bias? That's not what implicit... Okay. It's clear that you don't understand what implicit bias is.
He don't even know what he's talking about. He's stuck.
If you just let me finish the sentence, I promise you'll hear me. What I'm saying is that I have no reason to believe that he was motivated by race or that he was not motivated by race. But the idea that someone could be motivated by race is not outside of the realm of possibility based on ample...
So that doesn't make any sense what this guy is saying, man. He don't even know what the hell he's talking about. He's not trying to say that he was being biased, but he's not being biased, but the idea of it. Like, what the fuck is that? Like, that's just utter stupidity. This guy's stupid.
That data that shows that people are more likely to use force against black people. That they tend to believe that black bodies are stronger and more physically resilient. And therefore
the guy's a moron.
Yes. Okay, if we're going to talk about data and more likely, it's more likely to use force against a black person. What race, by statistics, is more likely to get violent? We don't know. Don't answer.
Just go on YouTube.
Because everyone knows the answer.
It's also data likely that 1 in 3 black men will go to jail. So one of us would have went to jail by now.
They said it. I didn't say it.
Don't say that, bro. We on camera. It's live.
Who went to jail? Who? They always
delusion. X, Y. We the ones that carry both.
What else we got here?
Stem, no stem. Boom. That's it. Cool.
This is a great
Women
example
can have babies.
On various topics.
About how people stupid.
So do you not blame Jordan Neely at all? I mean, for what he did?
Yeah,
he deserves no blame
right
from your perspective, right?
Did you hear the witness testimony?
I'm asking you a question.
Or are you cherry picking the ones?
I'm asking you a question. Do you blame Jordan Neely at all for his conduct?
If Jordan Neely was a white man, we'd be saying it was an opioid crisis. He was hungry. He was mentally ill. He had a muffin in his pocket.
I wouldn't be.
He was hungry.
What about the witnesses? Let's play again.
They always say that. You know, that's one thing about it is that they always say, oh, they're hungry. You know, when it came to like all these thefts that are happening in the stores, right? And catch and release, all these, things that are happening where now stores are closing down because of all the ongoing theft that's happening. And the justification is that, because they're hungry. Okay, but they're still committing a crime, right? So, and then her reasoning about, he's hungry. Does anybody ask if he can help you? And all it's like, get out of here, bitch.
Again, just so we're clear on the race.
Hold on. I want to hear what the witnesses said.
He stayed there throughout the incident.
Play the ones that fit the narrative.
But what's the narrative?
stop. Play Eddie Gibson, who begged Daniel Neely to stop.
Oh, again, but he stayed there throughout the incident.
Play the ones that fit the narrative.
Well, but what's the narrative? There's black women who were on the subway. It was mostly people of color on the subway.
What about a white man during cross-examination who said that he was afraid of Daniel Penny, the one who poured water onto his head and said that he was afraid? He was a white man.
Yeah. Okay. So, and
what about the Latino man who was holding his arms?
I'm not the one identifying everyone by race. You are. You're the one who keeps telling. Why do you have to? There was nothing in this case.
Because when you look at the FBI, when you look at when hate crimes happen, when you look at when injustice happen to black people,
but let's agree.
We don't get justice.
Let's agree to some. Look, I am one. I'm going to be doing a segment later this week on a missing black woman who has not been getting nearly enough attention.
Send it to me and I'll share the.
No, by the media. Absolutely. Because I understand that, and to that degree, you have a fair point about the way sometimes the media and the justice system handles. But not in this case. Even prosecutors conceded Daniel Penny had every right to go hands-on. And the question became, okay, when should he have stopped? I understand that.
The time frame on that from the DA's office was after 30 seconds. Can you not concede that Daniel Penny was a trained...
Come on, like 30 seconds doesn't do nothing, right? At the same time, it's not like you have a stopwatch on and be like, all right, boom, 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 let me count here, 1, 2, 3, 4, while you're having a guy in a hold, you know, and then it's, okay, it's about to be 30 seconds now, I think it's enough time, and then let go. Come on, really?
Killer, did he not have his gray belt? A United States Marine Corps is an assassin.
Sure, but
he knew.
Every Marine is trained
because actually, black Marines and white Marines have reached out and actually told us he went too far.
But going too far is different from criminal.
Let me break it down. A chokehold, a blood chokehold, which he did. You're only supposed to hold someone in that move for 8 to 13 seconds. You're not supposed to.
8 to 13 seconds. It takes time to put someone in a hold 8 to 13 seconds. You're barely getting them in the hold at that moment to subdue a person. All right, so no, I don't think so.
To do it longer than 2 minutes. Why did Daniel Penny, when the train was completely clear, everyone was on the platform,
why did he hold it for
because he was scared.
He was tweaking.
A Marine is scared of of someone he labeled as a crackhead.
Again, is it not possible that Daniel Penny, when he's doing this on the spot, stepping up to help people.
It looks like a jiu-jitsu move to me, the rear naked choke.
Many different races.
He didn't get his timer out.
Moves in and doesn't have a clock with him to decide when he should stop and when he shouldn't, which is why in the end the jury acquitted.
No, actually, Daniel Penny was trained very well by the United States Marine Corps, and he knew what the signs were. He knew when Jordan's body was slacking.
Now it's just
want to take these people serious.
No, I really don't.
She's so stupid.
No, this is delusional.
Y'all don't bring up shit that really matters.
People like her.
There's niggas really getting hit with firearms right now in the street, and somebody's making a music video right now.
And just like right now, when they say, "Hey, cops shouldn't shoot people," right, in the chest and all that, and if you want to try to stop somebody, you shoot them in the leg, shoot them in the arm, like in the movies. It's like, no, that's not the way it works. You know how small a target is to shoot an arm or a leg and all that. That's why you're trained to shoot in the torso, because it's a bigger target. And if it's a moving target, it's even harder to focus on that. So when these people come out and say these stupid things, and to me, it's just like, you know, you really have to really see it, experience it, before you actually assume it. And, you know, they got to stop all this bullshit. So this whole thing with Dad being in the picture, the cry to violence, because there's outrage with all this, and they're trying to martyr Jordan Neely just like they did with George Floyd, has to go. Because it's just bullshit. All right, and BLM's out of gas. All right, they're out of gas. They're out of water. They need to go. All right, because their cause is stupid, and it's not like a racial thing or nothing like that. I'm not trying to be racist or nothing like that. I'm just trying to be like common sense, because the jury got it right when Daniel Penny was let go. Just like when Jordan Williams. I just showed you that news clip where Jordan Williams was let go. So I don't see the difference with this case. There was no outcry when they let him go, right? Where's BLM talking about Jordan Williams? You know what I'm saying? So that's what BLM does. They always like to play the victim card, try to getting under people's skin and the feelings and all that, and it's just a bunch of crap. So, just wanted to share that with you guys. Let me know what you think. Comment down below, subscribe, hit the bell icon, and I'm sure you agree with me on that too. The jury got it right, all right? And it's not fair just because he's white that he should be locked up, right? Just because he did it to a black guy. No, if the punishment doesn't fit the crime, and vice versa, well then shit, you shouldn't lock him up. He did the right thing. Whereas this guy, it's questionable. He pulled a knife and stabbed a dude. I mean, did you really have to go that extreme? Plus, in New York, it's illegal to carry a weapon on you in the first place. But they threw that out. So they gave him a lot of leeway on this one. That's questionable at best, but just saying. So, other than that, I just wanted to raise that and share with you my thoughts. All right, that's enough for me. Comment down below, subscribe. I'll see you next one.